Hi guys, and welcome back to the Reptile Room. So this is Char the Bearded Dragon's enclosure, and if we have a look across, you'll see that it is a bioactive enclosure, fully live planted and everything, and at 5 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot in dimensions. It's got everything that Char could possibly want in here, but honestly, I'm just not that happy with the way it's looking. If we take a look over at the hot end, you'll see that everything just looks kind of dumped there, and I'm not that keen on it. And also the substrate, Arcadia Earth Mix Arid, whilst it does do a fantastic job of letting these plants grow, as you can see this one's getting really quite big now, it just doesn't look that good, meaning in terms of it being authentic to an Australian habitat. And then if we go down here, I've just sort of got the moss sprawled on the floor, and this is meant to make it easier for the woodlice and stuff, the cleanup crew, to be able to survive, but it's just not dense enough. So in today's video, we're going to be sprucing up this enclosure. We're going to be redoing the hot end, adding some Pro Rep Beardy Life substrate on top of this to give it a more authentic feel. And we're going to be adding some more moss and leaf litter down at the cool end. So let's get straight into it. So the first step was to get Char out of here. I've dug him out from the back and put him in a nice warm bath at 35 degrees. So I'm going to get to work on reorganising this hot end, and I'll catch up with you in a sec. So I've done this with the hot end. You can let me know what you think. You may be able to hear that Char in the background is getting fed up of being in his bath, so I want to crack on here. But we've got this branch going right under the heat source and providing a little shaded area under here so that Char can sort of sit on that piece of cork bark, get some rays, and also be hidden at the same time. And then he's got a little burrow here and one at the back. So I think that this looks a lot better than it did. I do have another rock to put in, but I think I'm going to leave it out because I'm liking how it's looking. So the next job is to add the Beardy Life. So another update, we've now got the Beardy Life in, but this isn't the end because I've got to put more moss down here and some leaf litter, and as you can hear, Char is really fed up of being in his bath now, so I'm going to crack on and let's get this job finished. And there we have it, that's the finished product. So as you can see, we've got the red sand in there looking a lot more like an authentic Australian habitat. And then we have some leaf litter going over here into the sort of cooler, wetter regions of the vivarium, which is both for Char and for the cleanup crew. So obviously this isn't looking too naturalised at the minute because I've just put it like this, and obviously Char's going to mix up this substrate a bit, so we'll get a bit of that black coming through and it'll look a bit more natural than the absolutely pure red we have at the minute. And obviously this leaf litter, I collected all of this yesterday, boiled it for about half an hour and then let it dry overnight. So this is all fresh and it's not really broken down yet. So once it really gets settled in, hopefully this should look much better. But this is just a basic run through of the setup. Now, I do know that I've got some other little bits of jobs to do in here, like that water bowl needs cleaning out properly, and so does Char's food bowl. And I've just got a bit of substrate in the runners, so I have a little bit left to do, but right now we need to get Char back in because he is absolutely fed up of being in his bath. So there we go, Char is back in his enclosure. He has obviously gone straight to the hot end, which I was kind of hoping he'd do, just to try out how it looks now, because if you might know that he never really liked his hot end, and I dumped all those branches there to get him to go there, so that he could sort of bask whilst being out of view, but now that I've got this branch positioned along here, he can kind of do that already, or he can sit up on the branch right under the heat bulb if he likes. Although I have found that he does seem to prefer his deep heat projector over the heat bulb. And I did do a video about those a while ago, so I'll leave a little link to that in a card. But yeah, let me know what you think of this enclosure. I'm sort of toying with the idea of adding leaves right across it, and I do have loads, so if you think that'd be a good idea, then let me know. But Char seems quite happy at the moment, and you may be able to tell that his body's white, and that's because he's in a full body shed. So if you check out my Instagram page in a couple of days, I'll put a picture of him after he's shed, and hopefully he'll look really nice and colourful. But anyway, that is it for today on Charles Vivarium, and we're now going to go and spruce up Reds. Now, unlike how Char's Vivarium was, I am actually quite happy with Red's enclosure because it's supposed to look like a section of forest from like southeastern America, where they're from, and it does really look quite like that in my opinion, so I am quite happy with it. But it does need more leaf litter in my opinion, and I'm going to put some more moss down on the cool end so that there's a bit of a better microclimate and change between the cool end and the hot end. So let's get straight into doing that. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that looks quite good. So, Red being Red, he's come to explore his new leaves already, and as you can tell, he does just look so much better in these leaves because, I mean, they just add so much character to a vivarium, and it looks a lot more like what it should, like a sort of wild woodland type habitat. So I am really pleased with it, and I think that Red is too, because of all the new smells he's got to go about with, and all the new hiding opportunities he's got now. But basically, this week's video was just kind of a sort of a fun one, not informational in any way, but I had these changes to do with the Vivaria, and I thought that I'd just take you along for the ride. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more, then do hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in a video next weekend. So I'll see you then.